Hot side.
Better than a plan to kill the Batman. Waist like a coupe with an ass like a van. Just drop a pin, I can scoop. Here I am. Tell your mans that you and your friends got plans. Just tell your mans that you and your friends got plans. Tell your mans that you and your friends got plans. Tell your mans you and your friends got plans. Tell your mans.
All right, guys. So today actually completes 365 days of running every single day. Not gonna lie, it's been a tough journey. There have been days when I've had to drag myself out of the house. I mean, partly because I do a lot of my runs at night. You know, I like running at night, at midnight. Luckily, I live in a city where it's safe to kind of run at night. And it's literally just me in the city most times. And today's my last run. Well, at least I'm going to continue running every day, but today is my last run for this 1 year, I guess, streak that I've been on, goal that I've set for myself. And I'm also making it the longest run I've done so far. So the goal is 20 miles today. I'm pacing to hit 70 miles for this week, which will also be my highest mileage week. I've been doing 40 to 50 miles per week, at least since February. I tapered off a little bit in August for injury issues and brought my mileage down. But this week I took it up to about 70. I've been paying attention to my body, and it's responded pretty well. I think I built my mileage up slow enough this year to where I'm not really, getting aches and pains from stress, or having any kind of issues like shin splints. I dealt with all that stuff in the beginning, and I learned how to, build my mileage up a little bit better, from those lessons learned early on. So, later on after the run, I guess I'll get back with you guys and we'll see how the run went. What's up, you guys? So I just finished my Saturday long run. I was shooting for 20 miles today, but this Apple Watch, it made it to 18 miles and then it died. And so I ran maybe one more mile. So I hit 19 miles. I should have kept going. I don't know why I stopped. It wasn't fatigue or anything. It was a real easy run compared to, it's the longest run I've done since I've been running for the last year. But I tried to, a lot of my runs are at a much faster pace. And so I tried to bring this run down to 8 minutes. I think I was at 8 minutes, 14 seconds per mile, going into mile 18. I think I ran the beginning a little bit faster and then I kind of settled in. I'd say my hips, ran out of steam. So, I slowed down towards the end, but it felt good. Normally, I think I've made some tweaks to my running form over. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just drinking some green tea. But I've made some tweaks to my running form over the last few weeks that have really helped me with not getting hurt. Because it's funny because, in the beginning, my right knee was where I was getting all the pain when I first started running a year ago from today. And then that went away. Strength training, form improvements, now nothing out of my right knee. But in the last month, since I'd say about July, I started getting some uneasiness out of my left knee. But today, nothing out of any of my knees. Besides my hips being exhausted, it was a good run. I did it on mainly asphalt. I ran through the city today, Munich. I did a little bit of running in the English Garden, so that's like gravel and packed dirt. But I'd say the bulk of the run, 17 miles of it was done on asphalt. And it was for it being my first time going that distance, because normally my Saturday long run is 13 miles, but today I was kind of like, okay, it's and by the way, I'm not working towards any marathon or anything in the near future. I'm just running for myself right now. I've said to friends that I just can't see myself running, because I'm not an elite runner or anything, I went from couch potato to running, a year ago. So I'm always like, I'm so used to running at night here in the city, where it's just me, literally. I'm running in the park and maybe one other runner, but I'm so used to that, to transition from, having the city to myself to running with hundreds of people, I don't know. It just doesn't sound, appetizing to me. But like I said, I won't say that I'll never run in, in a competitive race or in some organized race or something, because I do have some running goals that I'd like to achieve, and I think that maybe a competitive environment might push me a little bit harder to reach those goals. I've seen other people, hit their PRs, not on their, their weekly runs, or where they're, crunching all these miles in, but, when they go and enter themselves into a competitive competition, that's when it seems to be, when people, kind of get over that hump. So maybe that might help me get over some of the humps that I've wanted to get over. Like one goal of mine is to, I want to break 20 on the 5K. I'm certain I can because of the pace that I run, but I never go all out race pace on my runs, at least not for an entire run. I like my runs to be enjoyable, and not to mention the last 2 months of this run streak I've been on, running every day for a year. I've had to drag myself out of the house, partly because I do these late runs. I gotta stop that. I gotta really stop that. But I don't know, my mornings are sometimes hectic, but that's an excuse. I could wake up earlier. I could. I could, yeah. But then again, I kind of like the midnight runs, in the morning, even if you get up at 5, 6 here in Munich, like the commutes have already started, the traffic is already building up, like the street is all, the city is already alive. But at night, like there's just something intimate about running at night, like especially during the winter time, man, when it snows here, and everything is iced over. Like there's something intimate about just, being out there by yourself for the most part. Yeah, and I ran today in my Lunar Epics. Like they are still getting play right now. Granted, I didn't get them when they first came out. I got the Lunar Epics in April, and I only started working them in July. I was running between my Lunar Epics and the Brooks Adrenaline, I believe, the last Brooks Adrenaline, which I just retired because I believe I need to start tracking my mileage better on my shoes. But I believe I hit 400 miles in those shoes, or maybe even 500. So the Lunar Epics, I believe maybe I'm at 200 miles right now, but they're still going. Like literally, I feel today's run, at mile 10 or 12, I started feeling my left big toe started hurting a little bit. But I kind of adjusted my posture because I believe I was leaning a little bit too much. So I think the way I was landing with my feet a little too far ahead of me, and so my toe was making a lot of ground contact. I just kind of straightened myself up a little bit, and that went away by the end of the run. So today is like, this video was my first video, but it's kind of going to be an amalgamation of some footage that I've recorded over the last few months. Well, not much. Like, I planned on getting this video started a little bit earlier because I kind of wanted to, you know, kind of vlog like my this, you know, running every day for 365 days for a year, just what it takes to go from a couch potato to someone who's running every day. You know, like, I wanted to talk about, you know, what I was eating and, you know, how I got to this point. But I realized that, you know, I don't necessarily, like, the impact of the journey, like, is not mitigated by me, you know, doing it in retrospect, you know. So, like, I'm going to probably put out a couple of videos in the coming weeks, just kind of going back and reflecting on what I did, what kind of injuries I experienced, what kind of routines I took up to keep myself going every day, what I was eating. Not saying my diet was great, because it wasn't great. It's definitely something that I need to work on. It was better in the beginning, actually, which is funny. My diet was like really clean in the beginning, and that's when I was getting hurt. And when I was having, you know, my best runs, my diet was pretty was pretty downright filthy. But it's the irony of life and running.